Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another market wrap from Traders Community. We're going to go through today's markets, quickly look at CPI, how the S&P, oil, natural gas traded specifically, a couple of stocks after hours that had earnings. RIVN was one, ORCL another, and a stock we played today called Agri, A-G-R-I, and we'll have a quick look at Amazon. So let's get into it. Remember, this is not financial advice. It's just a couple of traders trying to share our knowledge and insight from real traders in a professional environment. Today's trade, improve your risk, and what we see. So if you like what we see, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, other traders. So without further ado, it was very much a reverse of yesterday, as we expected. We talked about yesterday that more than likely was a bear market rally, and it came right off perfect levels. The market is very much trading through cycles, through themes, and much of parcel was kind of like back in your face, so to speak, hence today's theme. So let's look at what we got. Quick overview. Oil was kind of a replica of yesterday in reverse. So we got up, opened up highly, tested at the higher levels up towards 114, sold off. Right now we're trading at 105.80. Remember yesterday on that big sell-off, we got down around 104, actually got a bit under on 104. The S&P is at 45.58 on cash. The rollover is in process. Remember, most people should have already rolled over into March. That is M for your month on your S&P calendar there. Russell closed up over 2. Nasdaq was the weakest of the lot. And that's right now trading around 13.57. Natgas moved up after its EIA supply report today, trading around 465. And volatility came off today for most of the day and closed down near the lows at 30.42, which I think is part of the reason we're getting this cycle swings in the indexes, because it's making it very difficult to hold puts and calls for protection. So it has to be more either long dated, which is hard when volatility is this expensive. So it's leading to more hands-on or people out of the market. You may notice a lot of stocks don't have many players in them. So we have the glorious Madavi here. How you doing, sir? And
hey.
How you doing, mate? And we have Meta Johnny back in there somewhere, hanging out.
Hello, mate.
Here he is. So let's go through what we had today real quick. What we found amazing, and this happened like every bloody month there's an inflation number. It's like, oh, it's not too bad, it's as expected. Well, it was 8%, and all the details on the website there. So that is a big number, however you look at it. It's biggest in 40 years. So that did affect bonds. Bonds got over 2%. What's interesting, though, there was a 30-year bond auction today, and again, that's all on the website. What you need to know is that it came in with an A rating. So there are investors wanting to buy bonds at these high yields, which, if you think what that means, it means they're buying bonds, not buying stocks. But it did at least minimize the sell-off. So we only really had a modest sell-off. And we're coming into Friday. There's probably going to be a few gamma plays for you. Lots of vol has been sold, and you've seen a couple of good plays that have gone higher than what they should. But as you've known, they don't seem to stay up for too long. So be wary of that. And there'll be the odd one that goes further than what you want. So let's look at the SPOOs real quick. Where are we? Here we are. So this was kind of a slow one as far as this is an hourly. Let's just go to daily. So you recall yesterday, look what happened. So people think, if you think the system's broke at 8, it went right to If you look at our shorter term ones, it went right to our plus 2.8. We spat tanking and just came off all day, and then we bounced and closed near the high, right? So basically a 50-point move. Very cut and dried. So it was kind of an easy sell. The hard bit was, if you look at the 60 minutes here, so we sold off. So here's the funny thing. It sold off on the CPI number. So they bought it after the CPI and then it sold off that. And for the rest of the day, it got some support from when oil sold off and that bond auction through the day. The macro news that disappointed was, and I don't know how they thought it was going to happen, that there would be some ceasefire out of Russia and Ukraine. It's a long way off from that. So as far as any constructive stuff. So what you're getting is more machines, and like I said, with the options, you get more hands-on trading and covering. It's trading very typically like a scared market, I guess you'd say. As far as weekly goes, let's see if there's anything different there. So you can see on the weekly, it's just basically holding around the top of the cloud. So this certainly has potential to get up here. That's, so just trade it day by day. It's almost like you buy cheap calls when it's down, you buy cheap puts when it's up. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying that's where it's trading. Okay, let's bring on Nasdaq and bring on Madavi. This was the weakest one today. So it might have been a bit easier to trade. S&P wasn't very good to trade. It
was terrible. It was really terrible.
So it was the same, huh?
Good trades in the morning and spend in the afternoon just giving it all back.
Yeah, that was
giving back. It got strong. It looked like it was going to make a move towards the end, then it collapsed.
Yeah, I see that.
Really, yeah.
So that's what the snooze was like. You'd get up a little bit, and you want them to let them work. So. And it'll just come back. But
yeah, in the mornings I had a great short, made a good money on.
Yeah.
And basically gave back all day until I didn't want to give back anymore before I went red.
So yeah, basically we had the same trade. I didn't do. We came in short a little bit overnight, covered it, and then put it back on after CPI. This here was a bit of the same sort of thing I just showed you, churning a bit. Small losses. Small gains. The S&P didn't come back as much as Nasdaq. What I noticed was Apple seemed to catch a bid, take everything with it, and then just fail, and then everything could fail. It was a real churner. The small caps seemed to be stronger, but even that gave it up. In the morning, all the small cap positions we had were up pretty noticeably. Most of them finished down for the day. Very much that. So the tail of the tape's pretty much to do with this big fella, oil. So if I show you an hourly oil, pretty well sums up what's going on. Here's 10 minutes. Let's make this hourly. So oil, if you recall yesterday, was that manic day. Now, to be clear, for those that think they can just jump on and trade this stuff, particularly the dribblers, oil here, when it crapped yesterday, the reason we were able to do so well is because we had orders in. So we were filled and we were short, right, off our charts. This here, we were gone by there. We didn't expect to go this low, right? So this here gapped up a couple of dollars. These are big moves. Anyway, through the day, it then rallied. People, different things. The bulls came in. Then it sold off again towards the end of the day. With that, it gave some support to the market. But obviously not that much because we finished down. And we're down near the lows of oil, right? But you can see us trading very clinically on the charts. So nothing's really changed on the weekly and daily. Remember, this was just a great short up there, plus 2.8. It's not magic, even though it may look like it's all. It's just a great trading system if you can stick to it, right? I guess we're not just saying it because it is, but you can see it right in front of you. Okay, so we know what's going on there. It's a 3 or a 5, and you work back through the lower time zones. Let's look at Natgas. Natgas had Remember, it's Thursday, so it's storage report. That moved up nicely, closed off the highs, but right at Cajun. You see how this stuff just pumps between it. This is all mathematics, maths, derivatives, right? Derivative, these algorithms. So they're trading off this. They don't have views, right? The algorithm is the antithesis of a dribbler, basically. They actually trade. They're unemotional. They tend to buy dips and sell rallies, right? So that's that. Let's have a look at Snap, I guess, again. So Snap's got this nice pennant. Remember, Madavi's been kind of cleaning this one up. So nice profit take, and then it's come back up to perhaps be another short off the tanking. That's a weekly chart. We'll see what it is short term. Gold was up nicely this morning. And then, sorry, that's copper there. So you can see on the weekly basis, so this thing's basically trading around 2,000, major psychological level, and it's rebalanced right now. So that's healthy on that one. Copper, as we've been watching, spat the high. It's under the tanking. So what I'm watching for in copper and gold is where they trade close at the end of the week. Do we need to look at any of these others? Here's wheat. Wheat was a beautiful short. And remember, we talked about this. This is a replication of 2008. Beware of stuff you don't normally trade. So all the dribbles are out there. So these gap up and then gap down. This is the ETF. That's the only way we've been trading it. As I said, I have never actually done a trade on wheat futures and don't pretend to. Ooh, I wonder who we're talking about. So corn, same thing. These are all the same things, but wheat really pulled back directly. And there's beans, right? So that's all your inflation. You saw the inflation number. That's everything that makes it up. So as long as you don't eat, don't sleep, don't drive a car, don't need heating or cooling, who cares about inflation, right? What else do we want to look at, boys, real quick here? Bit of crypto. We got Meta Johnny here. So it was a big day for crypto. All the news you all saw about Biden's plan. To me, there's a lot of ifs and ups and just hopeful thinking by people on both sides of the agenda. I didn't really see anything new, to be honest. So let's look at what how Bitcoin took it. So Bitcoin went up on it and pretty well sold off since that, right? Which to me looks like it's following Nasdaq more than anything. I think that's it.
Yeah, it definitely it followed it, came off, and then Biden said a bunch of nothing,
right?
Except for that he's going to start appointing people.
Yeah. So they're good at that. So if you believe in government success, look at the solar programs. Look at that magnificent energy program from the Biden administration, and that pretty well is all you got to know on that one, I think, fellas. Okay, so let's look at the stocks after. Yeah, it just amazes me that a bloke who doesn't know what day it is now in charge of probably the most innovative thing we've seen for a while. Capital One spending. What the hell is that? So anyway, yesterday it was Amazon, was the stock du jour after hours. It looks like it traded up to 31.70 yesterday, and now we're 29.20. So if you bought it on that, you're obviously down $200. So it looks like I don't trade it, but so keep that in mind. After hours, RIVN. This was a weird one because their earnings actually dropped on their website here, and we actually did a short on this, and then we couldn't find it. Remember, Madavi? And then the news actually started to carry it, and then it crapped itself. Perhaps he might have addressed the press. I don't know, but what I do know is I was out of my short before this happened. Were you able to get any of it, Madavi?
Oh, I got all the longs I wanted.
Oh, you got long on this? You got the bottom down here? No. You didn't go long in here.
Yeah.
So I got short here, if you remember, it made like 30 cents. And then, because the earnings...
How long 22?
Yeah. So
What do you call it? Someone said the earnings were out and it wasn't dropping. Well,
yeah.
I guess
So it was on. Yeah.
but,
So this is what's weird. It was out. It's on their website. So I read it. I shorted it, and then it didn't go down. And then one of the Bloomberg or Reuters, someone printed it.
no,
So-
it came through the wire where news wires came down and collapsed. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it was on their website here,
oh,
so you can
yeah,
see
either way.
it. Yeah. So that's something to be careful of. So for me, I always go to the company's website to see if it's out there. So sometimes that's bad, not good, because it's however the news picks it up for whatever reason. So lately the news has been pretty good. If you remember last week, Occidental 2 weeks ago, their earnings was out on their website like 5 hours early, and they picked it up. And someone else, what was it? We actually made money on one, Madavi, about a month. Who was it? Shit, I can't remember. But anyway, so there is weird stuff is going on in stocks basically right now. So anyway, that's that one, and you can see what it's doing. I think this is an all-time low on the stock. Let's have a look at a weekly. Is that correct? This was a new IPO. We got to $175. This is a monthly chart. I just want to see if this is a low. Yeah, look at that. 180 actually. Shit. Excuse the French. So that's one that's out tomorrow. Johnny does have a friend that owns one of these cars, he was saying. So they do exist. Let's go to daily. So there we are. This is it's at an all-time low. So we'll see. They are involved with Amazon. They own a percentage of them, right? And I think Ford does as well. One of these companies, I want to say it was Amazon, in their last earnings, part of their big beat was because they took the profit that they made on this. So obviously that's going to be a big loss for Amazon, Madavi. I mean, if they stay down here at $40, wherever it is now, $36. Okay. That is weird. So Oracle came out with earnings. Here's another example of this. So Oracle drops. They collapse. And, we did think about buying this on technicals because it was minus 2H, and I thought lately they just keep going. Lo and behold, it did rally. So that's one we could have done, right? I didn't do it. But did you do Oracle? Look at that bounce. It's unbelievable. Came all the way back to be up on the day. So that's Oracle. That's unusual. Oracle's one of those companies that tend to thud or go
Actually,
up.
Oracle does this often. The last two earnings has done the same thing.
Oh, has it? Damn, we should have been on it then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I was going to buy it, but I got stuck in
RIVN? Yeah, I was sticking around with some oil then. I saw it down. I just didn't go back to it. I thought that's done. Okay, here's an interesting one I wanted to share. So this is a company that I actually have had a longer-term view on and knew about it, liked it. The market never liked it, though, so I'd been down on this. And then I took a loss on it, 5 months ago. Rebought it over the last few days. I come in today and we're up. And I thought, well, this company's always a piece of crap. Took profit on it. It was up on, they did a deal. This is an agricultural company. On some systems, they're Canadian, they did it in. And so I took profit on it, and look what it did. So this is a replica of what it did last time. So I thought, I'm not going to get caught again. I think we scalped it a bit, right, between us. Then all three of us were keen to short this, but there was no shorts available. So the purpose, what I'm saying is these things tend to go a lot more, and you just don't know. As much as I believed in it, I should have stayed with it, obviously, until it told us to sell, which was probably here or here. It got up to 8.8. But we knew not to buy it again. I know a lot of rooms were touting it. So it's good to remember these situations, right? But we could never short it. That would have been great, Madavi. So here's another lesson too. A lot of these people, particularly the dribblers, and they get in amongst themselves and they're all about buying these things for short squeezes. Understand that people want to be short this. We were not able to short this because other people had a view, either secondaries, in other words, the company's selling it, or just hedge funds who want to be short it, right? So anyway, it's unfortunate. It could have been a massive day on that, kind of stuffed that up. And I think that's it. Any other stocks we need to look at, or are we good, boys?
We're good.
We're good. So tomorrow, the only other thing that came out, the budget deficit was like a massive miss or whatever, a much bigger number today that came out. $216 billion deficit for February. They're expecting 30 billion, I think, something like that. So that gives you, a lot of that could be the way they count it. But, so it's these things aren't seasonally adjusted. The whatever it's right or good or whatever political spin they want to put on it, just get your head around how much big the deficit and debt we're running at right now. And they're going to push this to be more. You know that, right? So that was out. Tomorrow, the only thing that I see out is the consumer sentiment. So that's been so that's for March. So that's going to include high inflation, a war in Ukraine, really high oil. Let's see how much the consumer is concerned about that. So that's pretty well it. Any other thoughts, Johnny or Madavi, guys?
Oh, I think we're good. The market basically
just really
crazy
day.
Yeah,
so today for me, in particular, was a day of stuffed up opportunities. Agri was the best one. And then Oracle, I didn't even, we all missed that. And then, so that's it. But
Bitcoin stuff, laws.
Yeah. So that was out. So it looks like that just sold. So basically they bought the room. That was another example of buy the rumor, sell the fact. People bought it up on it. But Bitcoin, it's just, to me, it looks like it's getting more stable. Everyone is either saying it's going to zero or saying it's going to 100,000. It looks to me like it's a trading vehicle. I don't trade it, but it doesn't seem it's the end of the world, right? So that's that. Let's just finish up where we are. There we go. 105.80. So you can see just as where we left it. No surprises. So energy's going to be a lot to do with it's working through all those big positions, speculative positions that were put on. A lot of companies would have put hedges on. Obviously, why wouldn't you? Natural gas, similar. They are getting spun around. We'll see what it is tomorrow on the markets. Stick to your grid and your charts. It's the best way to stay unheaded. The system works. For those that adhere to discipline, basically. That's it. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Madavi. The dogs are getting restless in all our houses, so they need to be walked. And we will see everyone. And what do we say?
Like the roundabout.
You're killing it.
Exactly. Apparently, Johnny's got a T-shirt in the works on that. So put in your orders. Make sure you subscribe. See you tomorrow. Exactly. Catch you. Bye now.